Let's go.
Hello, English speakers. Welcome to my channel. Today's topic is why animal rights are important.
Animal rights, what do you visualize? Like, what kind of rights are we talking about? Like,
One of the example of these rights are the right to life, right to life. So according to this right, all the animals have the right to life, which is very important because every organism on the earth, from its birth, has a right to live on this earth.
acha, has the right to live on this earth, of course. Plus, what are the other rights? Like, of course, right to live. How can we exploit them? Like, to what extent we can exploit them? And of course, how can we protect them? Like, there are some certain shelters. Like, they have the right to live. They have the right to protect their environment. They have the right to protect the those inhabitations where they live. Okay, so this way they have been given animal rights. More rights, if you can recall anything. Look around yourself. Look around yourself. That what kind of, like, if you have a dog, say, then what kind of right can you talk about on his behalf?
The other right could be the right of the fair treatment. Actually, this is a very important right which is given to the animals, and if the right is this right is most of the times violated by the human beings, as they do not treat the animals fairly or in a good manner. So this is a very important right.
Of course. So now coming to the question, that why do you think that what is the issue? Like, why are we talking about it? What is the issue with the animal rights? Why the humans are not following, and if they are exploiting them, then why they are doing this?
Yes. Actually, animals are a good source of fibers, milk, and other eatable products. Actually, but the humans are considering them very inferior, and always they try to violate their rights. Like if we talk about the right to freedom, and not only that, also the like human beings do not let them free, and they always and they always put them in a cage, which is a very bad thing. And also, if we talk about another right, like the right to life, so in this right, this is also being violated by the human beings, as a lot of human beings uh, destroy the species of animals, and they also kill the animals and their habitat by uh, cutting down the trees.
Of course. So, since we can see that humans are exploiting them too much, plus they are not respecting the boundaries, that's why enforcing animal rights has become very important. And so, tell me something more. Give me some more reasons about this. And give me some examples as well. Always remember, whenever you are speaking, and whenever you are presenting any reason, there has to be some examples associated with that. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. So you actually we see that animals give us a lot of useful things like the food products and the other things. So their rights must be protected, but they are not uh, because the
Okay,
human
so do you
beings.
think that only the humans are responsible? Now let us go to the other dimension. Is the climate change also responsible for violating their animal rights?
Ma'am, the climate change is very responsible, but if we see in general, the human beings are responsible for the climate
Yeah.
change, is responsible for the violation of the rights of the animals. So basically, the human beings are the root cause of this problem.
Okay, so now let's take some scenarios where we can see, animals and animal issues. For example, first is that we can see that many stray cows actually, wandering here and there. So, how can we protect their rights?
Ma'am, pardon?
Many stray cows, okay, are wandering around the roads. Whenever you go on the roads, you can see that many cows are there. Many these kind of animals are actually wandering here and there. So what do you have to say about it? How can we resolve this issue? This is my question.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, like human beings have built these wildlife sanctuaries and etc. etc. The uh, biodiversities. So they are focused to protect the animals which are being extinct. But what about the animals which are not close to the extinction, like the cows? They are wandering here and there. I think there should be some group or the NGOs who should work for the other animals also, because if we will not take care of them, they would can also lead to their extinction. Like the cows are wandering here and there, we see them nowadays. So first of all, the humans should not throw the garbage and the plastics here and there, because generally these animals like cows and dogs who are wandering here and there, they generally eat those plastics which are very harmful for their health. So so this uh, so uh, just a second. So they should, so the humans should not throw the plastics and garbages here and there.
Yeah, of course. And the second thing is, the second scenario is that there are lots of dogs who are wandering, and they are prone to a lot of accidents. Sometimes we can see their hands are injured, sometimes we can say their tails are injured. Then what can we do, and how can we solve this issue?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, like we hear that there are animal rights, the right to life, and all these rights. First of all, there are rights made, but they should be imposed strictly by the responsible group or the concerned authorities. So first of all, they should impose the right very strictly, so that the accidents of the stray dogs should be reduced. Secondly, as an individual, everyone should respect the dogs and other animals, and they should drive carefully on the roads, so that they should not collide with any of the stray dog or other animals.
Of course. So we must build certain shelter homes for them. We must make sure that these animals are also given the ample space so that they could walk there, or at least we have these safe spaces for them where they can, or we can give them shelter so that we can keep them at that place where they have to be, and not wander here and there on the roads, which are very very dangerous for them. Okay, so my next issue is that there has to be an industry which has to be set up, and for that purpose, many trees are being cut. Okay, so what can we do in that case? Keeping in mind that we are talking about the animal rights. Okay, so what can we do to protect the animal rights of that particular forest?
Yes, ma'am. First of all, as we know, the green plants, the green trees, plants, and the jungles are the home for these animals. There are many industries set up in that areas. I'm just so activities or the animal suggestions for this problem.
Again, but I speak again. Your voice did not come.
Okay, ma'am. So, as we know that the plants and trees, or basically the jungles, are the home for the animals, and a lot of animals live there. So, the government should uh, also initiate to protect these jungles, and they should reserve these forests. They should reserve the forest for non-human activities or the activities of the animals, so that no industry could be built in that areas. Or if there uh, is a need of building an industry in that area. First of all, the animal should be shift if they first of all it should be checked that there are not a lot of animals in that area. If there are a very small number of animals and it is a very uh, it is the need for the country to need for the industries in that area, so the animal should be shifted to another area so that
Hmm.
they could adapt themselves instead of
Okay.
killing them and uh, killing their homes.
Hmm. So when you use the word shifted, we can also use the word relocate. Okay, so they can be relocated to the other places. Okay, so next situation is that nowadays poaching is increasing. What is poaching? Poaching is exactly the exploiting of the animals for their skin, for their teeth, and their other body parts. Okay, the poaching is increasing. What the government and the individual must do in order to make sure that this does not increase?
Yes, ma'am. If we look from the government's point of view, first
Hello, your voice is not coming.
yes, ma'am. My voice is coming.
Yeah, now.
Yes, ma'am. Uh, so first of all, the government should impose. The government has already imposed some rules so that the poaching could be prevented, but those rules are not uh, imposed very strictly. So first of all, uh, there should be the there should be made some department or the forest department to take care that no poaching of animals is taking place, and also the rules that are made by the government should be respected by all the human beings, and also they should be imposed strictly. And then as an individual's point of view, everyone should respect the animals and their life, and they do not kill the animals so that the poaching could be prevented.
Okay, so now there are many people who actually domesticate these kind of animals. They try to take care of them as their family. So what do you have to say about it? Please explain this,
Yes,
this
ma'am.
beautiful thing.
In this world, only the good things also exist. Always there are not bad things. So the golden heart people or the golden souls who help the animals and also treat them very in a very good manner. So these are the blessings of the God for our earth, as they as they domesticate the animals and provide them all the things they need. So this is a very good this is a very good opinion, and everyone should not the poaching of the animals should be prevented. And if they want something from the animals, they could always domesticate the animals. They would like, if we domesticate the cows or the other or the sheep or goat, these animals will always give us the commercial products like milk and wool. So this would be a better option than killing the animals.
Of course. So, there are people who domesticate. They also fight for their rights. There are people who fights for their animal rights. Plus, there is an organization called PETA. It also works for the enhancing and for for fighting for the animal rights. So there are good things as well. Now, coming to our point that all these problems exist in our society. Now, what can we do in order to protect the animal rights?
Yes, ma'am. If we talk as an individual, everyone should respect the animals and always try to domesticate them instead of killing. And the best way would be they should always respect the right to freedom, and they should not cage the animals or keep uh, or keep them. They should always uh, keep them away from the human activities, as the human activities directly or indirectly will always affect them. So as an individual, everyone should protect their rights and respect their rights, so that the animal so that the violation of the animal rights should not take place. Now, from the point of view of the government is making rules and taking steps for the for protecting the rights of the animals and also making these rights, but the policies are not enough and they are not imposed very strictly. So first of all, they should be imposed strictly. Also, the new policies should be made, and also not only the new policies, but also but also there should be a department of the forest made, and they should always protect the rights of animals and help the animals to and always protect the rights of animals.
Of course, and we can see that in the recent days, in the recent years, there are lots of things happening for the animal rights. There is this awareness and education that is increasing. So the government has already done a lot of things. So when you look around yourself, what are some initiative of the government, or the work done by them you can see around?
Yes, ma'am. The setting up of the of some NGOs and the departments that work for the animals are very good for them, as there are a lot of people who are working for animals, which is a very kind hearted like these kind hearted people always try to protect the animals. Like some cases that held in India in previous years, many people tried there were many protests due to that, and not only India but in the whole world. They uh, for people are fighting for the animal rights. And if we take the example of our English book, that is Beehive, the all the books are uh, in the manner of beehive and related to bees, which are giving a signal that we should always protect the bees or and the other animals. So we can, as an individual, we can do all these things, and as an government, the government has made some initiatives, but they should make more initiatives. And the government is also working on the rights for the animals.
So my question was that when you look around yourself, what are those initiatives that you can see? Like you could have said like the zoos they have made, the wildlife sanctuaries you can see that there are shelter homes, or there are certain these clinics called the veterinary clinics that are there to treat the animals. Tell me something, these things which are happening around you.
Yes, ma'am. If I talk about some small things which are happening to initiate the rights of animals, like if we see in our own colonies, many kind-hearted people have made the shelters so that the stray dogs could live there. And not only that, on the large scale also, the government has made many wildlife sanctuaries, national parks, and biosphere reserves, so that the biodiversity of the animals should be protected.
Yes, more
And also
continue.
if we talk about the world, if we talk on the world, on the world basis, not only India or our neighborhoods are doing are initiating the rights of animals, but also the UN, United Nations, which is one of the biggest organization, have some other bodies, including the animal body, uh, which promotes the rights of animals, and they should not be violated. And also the UN is working a lot for saving the animals from being extinct.
Good. My next question is that since you have talked about biodiversity, so I want to ask that how animals are helping us in protecting our biodiversity. I give you a hint. For example, the bees and certain kind of insects, they try to they try to enhance the productivity of a crop. Okay, this way, how do you think that the environment and animals are interdependent on each other?
Yes, ma'am. This is a very good. Uh, if we talk about this, like we can see there are many animals, like birds and insects, which help in the pollination. Uh, they try to relocate the seeds. They try to relocate the seeds from the bigger plants so that new plants could grow, which helps not our own environment. Then if we talk about the next most important thing is that animals take the oxygen from the atmosphere, and they also provide carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which is not bad. And this carbon dioxide is taken by the plants for the process of photosynthesis, where they release the oxygen. So the animals and the biodiversity of the plants is interdependable on each other.
Okay, so this is how it all happens. Also, you can give one more point that how this concept of food chain and this concept of food web. You know, if some animal go extinct, then it may disturb the whole food chain, and then the whole this ecosystem balance will get disturbed. So elaborate on that.
Actually, I was thinking about the food chain, but in the food chain, the plants are helping the animals, not the animals helping plants. But if we talk about the food chain or the food web,
No, actually, I tell you, there is a food chain and there is a food web. There are two concepts. Remember that. Food chain is a concept that that is actually taught in the schools so that children can easily understand. But in the real life, there is no food chain, as there is a food web. So when you are speaking, so the food chain can be started from the plant, but there can be another food chain that can be start with an animal. Okay, so there can be a complete food chain in which only the animals are involved and not the plants involved. Okay, so it can also go that way. Yeah,
yes,
now
ma'am. Now, as we all know that food chain is when a group of food chains combine, they form a food web. So if we talk about that, most of the times the plants are are the producers, but sometimes the insects are the producers. As if we talk about the plants such as the pitcher plant, they take in these insects to produce the oxygen. So these are also a good example in which the plants and animals help each other. Also, if we see that if the plants get if the plants get in a very low number, this would affect the whole food chain, as the
Of course, this would disturb the whole food chain, and we can see the detrimental consequences of such acts. So, we can see that the dynamics of the human and the animal has to be ensured in a positive direction, and also we should ensure that the animal rights are protected, because it is not important for animals, but it is important for our environment and for the human existence as well. Because ecosystem is very delicate, and if we try to disturb this balance, then we'll have to face the consequences. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe my channel for more such